Hello guys, so we've got now the database where we can store all the requests which we sent to so many beautiful girls, and we need now to write a protocol to insert these records into our database. So we're going to our PHP development environment and especially to the class which is called access. So we're going here. Okay, we're moving to access.php. This is the one which stored in the folder secure. Okay, so in here we're just scrolling right to the bottom, and here we will write now the protocol. Okay, and okay, so the first one which we'll write will be to insert the request. So we will write a new function which is function insert request. Open and close round brackets, then open curly brackets. In the round bracket, make a reference to the user underscore ID, then dollar symbol friend underscore ID. Here we go. These two values which we need to insert. If you see your database, these are the which we need to insert. ID is automatically generated and the date created. This is automatically generated as well. Okay, so first we'll declare SQL command for execution, and we'll write $symbol SQL will be equals to open single quotation marks, write insert into space requests. This is how our database name requests space set user underscore ID. That is the one. This is the name. User underscore ID will be equals to question mark. This question mark further will be replaced with the variable, the reference variable here. So then we put comma, then we want to insert a friend ID as well. So as a friend ID equals to question mark, which later on will be replaced by this reference variable. Okay, semicolon at the end. Very good. So let's now prepare the statement for the execution. We'll declare a new variable which is called statement, which will store the result of the execution. Prepare SQL command to be executed. Statement equals to this arrow con arrow prepare and SQL in the round brackets. Okay, we'll now check is there an error or not. If in the round brackets we put exclamation mark which states false, if statement is false, then we want to throw new exception. In the round brackets after exception, we'll check the error of the statement. So we'll write statement arrow error. Great. Check for errors. Okay, very good. After that, since we've done checking this, so we'll write statement arrow byte params, means byte parameters, and here are two question marks which we need to replace of type id, integer, of type integer. Okay, so since it's going to be of type integer, so we'll put double question marks, and here as the statement, we will insert here some values for each letter. So first one will be user ID, dollar symbol user ID, then we put comma, and the second one will be friend ID, and don't forget semicolon at the end. Okay, very good. Here we are assign variables, and then we will execute it, and we'll assign the result of the execution to the result variable. Result equals to statement arrow execute, semicolon at the end, and we return the result. Return result. Execute. Very good. So this function inserts requests, friendship requests, into database. Okay, very good. So since we've inserted, let's then decide we want to cancel our request. Let's say we just mistakenly we sent a request for the friendship. Okay, now we'll write a new function which will be function delete request, open and close round brackets, then open curly brackets. Okay, great. What I will do here, in order to save your time, we'll just copy this, the full content of the previous function. We'll copy this, the entire content, which is in the curly brackets. We'll just copy this, and we will click here and we'll insert it right over here. The only change which we need to do, because both of these functions are exactly typical except the SQL command. So we will simply we'll delete the entire SQL command and we will rewrite it with a new one. Delete from requests where user ID equals question mark and friend underscore ID equals question mark. Okay, delete from requests, delete the result from request table where user ID, let's say current user, and friend ID, let's say some ID of the beautiful girl. Okay, and this function deletes values from the server or delete information from the server. Especially, I mean requests table. Okay, so these are the two PHP function which allows us to insert the request and to delete it. Okay, very good. So what we will do now, as a next step, we'll go to the friends.php. This is the function which, the protocol which we were using in order to search for users, where our action, let's say search. So here, the last second curly bracket, which is closed, here we will write else if, and in the round bracket, we will write else if then in the round bracket we are writing $symbol underscore request, then in the square brackets and the quotation marks. In the quotation marks we'll write action. Coming out from the round bracket will be equals to, let's say, add. And then again we are putting this in the round bracket. So this is how it must look like. Now you have no error messages. Okay, so here we'll check for some information. In current scenario we need here, by the way, in delete request, don't forget in the round brackets to put these two variables, because these is which we are replacing further the question marks with. Okay, we're going back to our friends.php. We'll just check, did this file receive user ID and friend ID? I mean this friends.php file. So we'll write if, then in the round brackets we'll put exclamation mark, we'll write is set, then square brackets, single quotation marks, in the quotation marks we'll write user underscore ID. Then coming out from the first round brackets and we'll put or exclamation mark, which states false. If is not set, let's say $symbol underscore request and square brackets, then single quotation marks, friend underscore ID. By the way, here before the square brackets must be $symbol request. This is how it should look like. Okay, so here we're done. If, let's say, if user ID is not set or friend ID is not set, then we want to show the error message which will be missing required information. So we have it already right at the top and we'll just copy paste it here. Very good. And let's say we have it. Then we need to pass it through the secured way. Okay, so I'll create a new variable, user underscore ID will be equals to HTML entities. Then in the round brackets we'll run underscore request square brackets, then single quotation marks, user underscore ID, and semicolon at the end. The same we're doing for the friend ID. Friend underscore ID equals to HTML entities $symbol underscore request square brackets, then in the single quotation marks we'll write friend underscore ID and semicolon. This is secured way of accessing received information. Here we are checking, are the required details passed to current file or not. Okay, let's say user ID and friend ID they were passed both. So then we will execute the function which is insert user. So we write access equals to insert request. That is the one. Insert request. Okay. So insert request here we're making a reference to the user ID, which is that one, and for friend ID we're making request that one. Okay. And here put semicolon at the end, and here I want to assign the result of this execution to a new variable, which is, let's say, result. Result equals to that one. Execute insert request function and assign result to the new variable. Okay, very good. So now we want to check different scenarios. If in the round brackets we write result, means everything went successfully, or let's say else everything didn't go successfully. Okay, here we'll write for if result in the first curly brackets, we'll write return square brackets and single quotation marks status will be equals to in the quotation marks 200 then semicolon at the end, and then we're writing the message return square brackets and then in the single quotation marks message will be request. Let's say request has been sent successfully. Request has been sent successfully. Okay, very good. But let's say if it could not insert the data, then status will be 400 and we'll write could not, let's say could not send a request. That one is for this if else statement will be request friendship. Okay, great. So first scenario will be request inserted, and the second one will be error while inserting. Okay, very good, brilliant. And after this, okay, we're done with the inserting the request, and then we'll write again else if. I'll just copy this line, this one, else if request action equals add, and I will insert it here and make breaks here and close this curly brackets. Here the first change which we need to do here will be reject, let's say do not, or let's say do not accept the friendship. It can be, we can do this one as well. Okay, reject, and what we will do is we'll copy this code, we'll copy the entire code because it will be exactly similar, and we'll insert it in this block of code. And the only change which we will make is instead of insert request we'll write delete request. That is the one. Okay, save your access.php after we have updated this one. It shows an error for me. Yeah, correct. Don't forget to close this else curly bracket in my case. Okay, very good. So this one will be reject friendship request. Okay, very good. So now request deleted, error while deleting. request has been rejected successfully. Could not reject the request. Okay, very good. So, okay, let's now test it. I'm going to my database. As a users, I have 3 users. First one is having ID. They are having 14, 15, and 16 as an IDs. Okay, I'll write now, oops, localhost, then slash fb slash friends, then the question mark, then as an action, I write reject. It says missing required information. Or first, let's write add. We'll write add, it says missing required information, then we'll put and user underscore ID will be 14. This is the current user which wants to add. Let's say James wants to add Joseph. So we'll write James has the ID 14 and the friend ID which he wants to add is 15, Joseph. Enter, request has been sent successfully. And we're checking our requests. Oops, I have here so many. Refresh and check request. Here we go. So user ID, James wants to add Joseph. Excellent. Okay, let's now try to delete this. Instead of add, we write, let's say, reject. Was it reject, guys? Okay, here we got some errors with the access.php 620. We're going back to our 620. Okay, that is the one. Just make sure that we got no issues with my SQL statement. Delete from requests where user underscore ID equals question mark and friend underscore ID equals question mark. Okay, now request has been rejected successfully, and I'll refresh it, and this details got deleted. So I will come back and I'll insert one more request. This is add. Here we go, we add it now, and here we'll write reject. Has been rejected successfully. Refresh it and it disappears. So that is really outstanding. So we have now working code for our backend. So that's really amazing, guys. So this is the working code for our backend. We have written these 2 protocols for our inserting requests and deleting the request. Then in the friends.php, we have extended this class by adding else if statement for our action, where we write for the add scenario, we check is user ID and friend ID is received by this file. If it is received, then we assign them to the separate variables. Then we run insert request function and we assign the result of this question to function to the new variable, which is result. And if result means if there is some result, then everything went successful, we throw back the message, else we show the error message. Exactly the same logic we have implemented for rejecting the request or deleting the request. Okay guys, so that was really awesome. We've done with inserting, deleting their requests. Now we'll have to go to the front end and do the same things using our application. Let's go and do this.